Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Critical Hits 1K in Oshawa. This is Lazy MTG. My name is David, anything you want to call me. Just don't come late for dinner. That's a boomer joke. Who's this?
Hey guys, you all know who I am. I'm Lazy MTG, also known as Ben. You can call me Lazy, you can call me Ben, you can call me Quanner, you can call me whatever you want.
That's why he has the pillow in case he falls asleep. He's so lazy. So, like I mentioned, this is round 2 of the Critical Hit 1K. Super exciting matchup. We're going to see a local favorite, and we're going to see a gentleman from Trenton. After I spoke to him after this match, so he's all the way from Trenton. And yeah, we'll start the game off here, and we'll tell you what's going on. Boston Shatman, yes, is on the left. He is playing blue-black tempo scam.
No, I would say he's on Rescaminator.
Is it Rescaminator with frogs? With frog?
So I think the biggest thing, the biggest difference that I think we're gonna see is Boston actually has access to the MH3 cards, and he is playing Psychic Frogs.
Yes. Which
other than that, I don't know. Let's take a quick look at his deck lists.
Good idea. I'm gonna look at the Merfolk one while you're doing that one. But of course, we know Boston is classic on Delver of different varieties, being the Grixis, or I'm not sure he ever played Teamer if I'm not mistaken, but he could have. And Land/Selesnya Depths, green-white Depths, as well. So this is a am I not mistaken? Those are his classic things.
I wasn't listening. Are we talking about Trevor? Or are we talking about?
No,
Boston?
we're talking about Boston still.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Talking about just like what he's classically known for.
He's known for Delver.
Yeah, that's So Delver and Selesnya Depths, green white Depths, all that.
I mean,
all that stuff.
That was for one season.
No, but he's played it at I've heard at the local level as well too. So I mean, he's been kind of making.
He can correct us in the comments if we're wrong.
Correct.
I'm gonna say, he's known for playing. I don't know. I was gonna lie.
Oh,
okay. I was just gonna say he's known for sneak and show.
Oh no.
Yeah. All Toronto mans are known for sneak and show.
All Toronto mans.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we see that he is playing 3 Psychic Frogs. I don't know exactly what he's cut though. He looks. Do you know what?
So this is Blue-Black Scaminator.
Yeah.
Right
Do you know what Rescaminator usually plays?
Instead of is he playing? Somebody's playing Bowmasters.
There's 3 Orcish Bowmasters. So maybe he's just trimmed some of the fat. So he is playing there's an Archon, there's 1 Atraxa, 1 Brazen Borrower, 4 Griefs, 3 Orcish Bowmasters, 3 Psychic Frogs, 4 Trolls. It looks like he's shaved on Orcish Bowmasters, Animate Dead, and it could be one of the fatties. I'm not entirely sure.
Quite possible.
I'm showing how much I pay attention to the Legacy metagame here.
Fair enough. And Trevor is on, it looks like I would say classic, but also a new classic Merfolk list. There's lots of...
trying to re-establish an old archetype.
Yeah, like the newest cards that I can see would be Tide Shaper. No, that's MH2. My apologies. Sorry, there we go. We got the Hex Catcher. I'm not sure what the first name is. Vodalian Hex Catcher.
Yeah, it turns all of his Merfolks into Chris Catcher.
Yeah, which is, I'll tell you that. That's a pretty nutty card to play against playing combo. Tashana's Tidebinder is a little bit of an oldie now, but it's made its way into Merfolk because it is a Merfolk. He's also playing, he's playing the new MDFC Sink into Stupor, which is also the island on the backside, which is the return target spell or non-land permanent.
Wait, it itself is an island?
Yeah, no, not an island, but just has for blues, right? So I meant, yes, the land is an island.
Yeah, I'm not... Is he playing any Chrome Mox in that list?
From what it looks like, no. He has 4 Vials and 4 Chalice of the Void. Those are his artifacts in the main.
Is it that good to play those MDFCs if you're not playing Chrome Mox?
I would probably say yes.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not too impressed with them, but I'm also, terrible, so...
I think... especially in a Merfolk deck, it's a little bit of an interesting choice, but I guess it gives you... He is only playing 16 lands, so it gives him 20 with the MDFCs.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I guess it's modal in that sense. It pitches to Force of Will early on if you don't have it, but we shall see how it plays out. So it looks like... Yep, here we go. Trevor is on the play, so Merfolk's on the play, and we get to see the first instance of this MDFC land.
Wow, he's really fondling it.
Yeah, wow, he's like...
Oh my god, that's a side loader!
Oh, no. A side loader with a black back as well, too. So that's why I do the whole thing.
I think that's fine because you're playing MDFCs. Fair. I think the black, the
Black,
back.
black.
Wow. Okay.
Jack black, what?
The back, the BB. I think the
There you go,
BB
the
is
BB.
fine, but
That will be-
being a side loader.
Yeah.
Oh, Trevor, I gotta give you some negative points there.
I've tried them. I don't know. I can't.
I have to say, working at an LGS. I'm sorry for all of those who kind of wish that this is like a lot more commentary focused, but I have to say, after working at an LGS, when someone trades in a ton of cards and they don't de-sleeve,
And they're side loaded.
there's a hidden side loader, and you're just like trying to like get it out of there, and you're like, oh my god, it's a side.
Yeah,
That is
what
the
am I
worst
doing here,
feeling.
right? You know, yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. So again, Merfolk on the play. Psychic Frog, Demir, Rescaminator, goes Ponder Pass. Don't think he shuffled, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you just left them on top.
Yeah, so he's just, again... so I'm still not sure if Boston knows what's going on. If he's just thinking he's playing against some mono-blue randomness. Because, again, there's no threats, no Vial,
Yes.
no Wastelands. Like, it's just mono-blue.
I guess this is one of the advantages of playing a rogue deck in Legacy is you can kind of have that surprise factor. However, again, as we said in episode number 2 of Casual Commentary, go check it out. Blue-Black Rescaminator, best deck in the format, probably has enough tools to just play its game and doesn't care what the opponent's doing.
Yeah, and this is clearly what's going on here. So he drops a Hexcatcher on the end of Boston's turn, it looks like.
Does that have Flash?
Yes, it does. If not, yeah.
How is Merfolk not a good deck?
Yeah, I know. That's why Hexcatcher, like with flat, I'm telling you, it's pretty good when you're trying to go into a combo turn. Oh, so in response, we're casting it into him, which makes sense because he's trying to decide he can't counter it right now.
I mean, playing against a bunch of dazes is not what you want to be doing as any player. Right?
Correct. That too. Yes. Wow, we're going for just a. Oh, okay. So here's an option. Oh wow, it's just
Force of Will fight.
Just counter spells all over the place right now.
Whose will
I love
is
it.
stronger? It looks like it's
Looks
going
like
to
it's
the frog.
Boston. Yeah, the frog. So there goes one of the frogs. So the force is gone. Hexcatcher's still in the stack. Tomb is on the stack.
Is
And-
upheaval legal in Legacy?
Why do I feel like? Oh no, that's Commander EDH. It might be. Commenters, comment below. You know what to do. Is upheaval? You said upheaval legal in Legacy?
Yeah, isn't that the classic Psychotog combo? You would float all your mana, you would upheaval, bounce all permanents, play the Psychotog, discard all of your excess cards, and just have like a creature while your opponent has to sit at nothing.
Only way to find out. Commenters, comment below. Tell us if we're brewing here. I guess it's still not as good in Legacy.
It's not
because-
good at all.
No, but what I mean, like, no, but it's good in Cube because you have a bunch of Moxin and stuff. So
Okay, keep your cube to yourself.
Oh man.
Okay. We're lazy. We have no structure.
We just
Cubes
need-
scare me.
we just
Okay.
need-
there's too many. There's too many vertices. There's too many sides. There's too many.
Fair,
I don't
okay.
even know what's edges. There's too many edges. It's too
Yeah.
much.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
I
We
gotcha.
like formless, circular,
Four of-
circular. Okay.
four of card metas, right? Or card games.
No, that's too box like too.
When everything's just four ofs.
Yeah. We're gonna see what Boston's looking for. It looks like he's debating between the two only real.
Yeah. Is there any other threats in his deck? You could do
Okay,
a
so here's the thing. Trevor has already played a Vodalian Hexcatcher, Hexmate. I don't know what it's called.
I think it's Hex
He's played the Hexcatcher. Boston must know what he's playing. Like it's Merfolk, right? So Boston doesn't really need to go for any griefs, or anything. So just go for a fatty.
Yeah, and he's really on the fence about this decision, which of course it does make a huge difference.
Ooh, that's a little bit glare there.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
he does settle for
That's an Archon.
the Archon.
That is an Archon.
And probably the best way to deal with it.
Yeah. So the Tomb did resolve rather. Hexcatcher will resolve most likely.
Does Boston have the reanimate spell in hand?
I did see some in the deck, so I'll have to double check to see if he has an animate dead or.
I mean,
a
he
reanimate.
plays 7, right? There's 4 reanimates, 3 animated. I just want to know if we got a glimpse that he does
I'm assuming
have
he
one.
must have.
Oh,
he has
there's the enemy
dead.
dead. He does have the enemy dead.
Okay, so now it's a matter of finding a land because the Hexcatcher will counter the animate dead because it's non-creature spell is what Hexcatcher.
Oh, no, this is still on the stack!
Oh,
Oh, God!
wow. Oh wow,
Boston Chapman, how do you do it?
fooled us. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, yeah, okay, just let it go. But
Wow, this is all at the end of Boston's turn.
yes. Now he's gonna play Trevor's gonna play a Tashada's Tidebinder. That's 2 mana? I thought it was 3.
No, it
It is
is
2,
it's
right?
fine.
Okay.
There's a brainstorm.
Brainstorm response, okay. Or
So
post.
Boston looking for a daze.
Yeah, because you know he's tapped out, so
He has to be going for a daze because he's already gone through 2 Force of
Yeah.
Wills, and it's very unlikely that it's going to be on the top of his deck.
yeah.
So it does look like the Tidebinder resolves. Do you want to?
Oh wait, is that the Tidebinder that turns or no? Maybe that's a different card. Because Tashana's Tidebinder is 3 mana. This is Tide Shaper. Tide Shaper when
something into an island.
Correct. When it comes into play, if it was kicked, because he did pay 2, target land becomes an island as long as Tide Shaper remains on the battlefield. Sorry, that's Tide Shaper.
So he's turned Boston's swamp into an island.
Correct. Only taps for blue.
All
so
right.
now, but he did have a delta for a C, and he reanimated a Archon.
Yeah, look,
was
turns out
fast.
Archon is a very good card.
So does that mean that that swamp is no longer an island, right? Just to confirm, for our
Yeah,
viewers'
I
sake.
would assume so.
Because only as long as it's in play, yes.
Yeah.
And there's the dice is gone now. Discards a Lord of Atlantis.
Yeah, not looking too good for Trevor here. This Archon of Cruelty is going to take over the game. Every time it attacks, it's going to be a 9-point life swing. Or no, it's just going to be 9 points of damage, so it's 12-point life swing in total. Because Boston does gain that 3 points of life. Well, he drains 3, and then it's going to be 6 damage. On top of that,
Well, does enemy dead -1/-0 from the power?
Oh, it does,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so it's only
it's going to be
8.
yeah, it's an 11-point life swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, looking good so far. I mean,
This game is just over.
Yeah.
I like Trevor's like so low on resources. He spent he has to like discard a card every time Boston attacks. And I think this is just game number 1 to Boston.
essentially this is what it's looking like. Yeah, and just for good measure, have a frog in play, and there we go. Trevor scoops it up. Knows there's no way to get out of that. So that's game 1. Swift and easy.
I think this is going to be a very tough game for Trevor, only because I think we're starting to see the weaknesses in Merfolk. Like,
Well,
it has a lot of the tools.
would you like me to go over his current sideboard, or you want to go over
Yeah,
general
sure.
Merfolk
If
thing
you wanna,
first?
if you wanna,
So Trevor has 2 Dismembers, 2 Force Negations, 2 Hercules Recall, 2 Hydroblast, 4 Lay Down in the Void, 2 Pithing Needles, and 1 extra Tashana's Tidebinder in the board. So I think the only real things that I can think of, again, he has to hedge on Boston being heavy on the graveyard if he wants to bring those 4 ley lines in. Possibly Force of Negation for the Entombs and Animate Deads and all those particular cards. Dismember really doesn't do much in this matchup, and everything else is kind of just useless, I can think, in this particular matchup. But what do you got for Scaminator over there?
I switched to Trevor's.
Oh, as well too? Oh.
I can pull up Boston's really quickly. So Boston in the sideboard, there's a lot of one-ofs, but 2 Brazen Borrower, 3 Daughty Voidwalker, 1 Dismember, 1 Dress Down, 1 Fatal Push, 2 Force of Negation, 1 Harbinger of the Seas, 1 Hydroblast, 1 Bowmaster, and 2 Pest Controls. So we are seeing that Boston is Esper.
Oh,
He does have a 1 of Scrubland to play this Pest Control on the
okay.
board.
Oh, they're actually showing their sideboards here. They just showed us. Oh, look at that. Oh, so he's actually bringing in a Dismember, Fatal Push. I think it was 2 other cards I can quickly check. And I think Trevor brought in the 4 ley lines and possibly, what was the other card there I was mentioning? That possibly, Force of Negations most likely, it looked like. But again, that was really quick. So, sorry, continue.
Oh no, that was pretty much.
That was it. We're good.
Yeah, we finished it off.
I think this
like
is
we
pretty
saw
classic.
that Boston doesn't really need to change too much. He just needs to have the quick removal spells so that he can deal with all of the lords that Merfolk has.
Yep.
So he can just keep his life total like under control. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I'm actually surprised that. Oh no, because Merfolk is a lot of 2 mana, 3 mana stuff. Pest control doesn't really do too much. All it does is it hits the vials, and I don't like Boston knows that that's not what he wants to be fighting over. If he does want to fight over the vials, he has to use the Force of Wills.
I mean, it also does hit the chalices, but yes, I agree. There's not really much Pest Control does in this matchup.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But again, if you just
But,
If he
okay,
plays-
so here's
he can-
another thing. Boston, I don't think cares all too much about Chalice.
No, I was gonna say he can always Brazen Borrow it away. You know,
and
there's answers.
like he has the animate deads
Yep.
to reanimate, so he doesn't really need to worry about it all too much. He also is a very different variant because he has Orcish Bowmaster.
Yep.
Although Merfolk doesn't draw a ton of cards, Orcish Bowmaster is still a very like good card to be a threat.
Yeah, block it.
It block. Well, I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to block against
yeah.
Merfolk because of all the.
They become 2/2s and 3/3s, and they keep going up and down.
Well, it's not
you
even
know?
that. They have Island Walk.
This
right?
most of them do. Yes, good point. Yes.
The biggest thing here is Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog. Hopefully, we get to see it in action.
Where it gains flying in some respect.
It's
That
not even
part?
that. It's just like it becomes a big threat
A tempo
that doesn't
piece,
care
yeah.
about Chalice.
Yeah, fair. That's
Right.
true.
And it's an out. So if you draw the Atraxa, or if you draw the Archon, if you draw the Grief, and you can't get it into the graveyard with an Entomb, Psychic Frog is a way of dumping it into the
Pitching it.
graveyard.
Yep,
Right?
I know. So it's like having Putrid Imp in your deck, but it does way better than Putrid Imp.
Yes,
You know?
I think so.
Right? Way better.
Yeah,
So we're starting
so,
game
again-
2 at this point.
Yeah, Chalice, I don't think Boston worries too much about.
No, I don't think so either. So
I mean, there are a ton of good one drops in Boston's deck, right?
like as we see, a couple of
Reanimate,
Ponder.
Entomb, Ponder, Brainstorm.
Yes. So we're going to 6 for Trevor. He's currently on the play as well too. So
Yeah.
not the best start, of course, but that's what happens. I mean, I think the biggest thing, I think, as you were saying before, is what Trevor's game plan is to swarm the board as much as possible because there's really no board wipe in Dimir that I can think of.
Yeah, so I guess like I've thought it a little bit throughout this match. The question that I asked at the beginning is like, why isn't Merfolk considered like a good deck? Is although it has like all of these tools, it just is a turn too slow,
Yeah.
right? Like all of its lords are 2 mana. You want to play the Vial on turn 1, but like there's so many strong 1-drops and like everything comes out a turn earlier from Boston that Trevor is just it feels like he's just a bit too slow.
So we have.
Oh,
yeah,
there's a
fair
ley
enough.
line.
So turn 0 lane line.
I could be wrong. You could ignore everything that I just
No,
said.
well, let's see. Again, even he has to hedge that Boston is heavy on the Reanimator. Here we go with the side-loaded blacks. Oh, look at this stuff to turn the whole flippy turny thing. Oh man, I love it though. It's just like so much work to get this to flip the land around. Oh man. And it always comes into play tapped, right? That one you can't pay 3 life for, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea.
I think it always comes into play tapped. This is one of the.
This card I am not convinced is good.
I think it's good, like you said. I know
This is the stupor card, right?
Yes. I believe.
More like stupid.
Or I know they're trying it in Jewel shops in Vintage, and I believe in the Jewel deck that's also in Legacy.
You have to be able to play this card untapped. There's no way that this is an $8 uncommon.
I'm assuming because it's uncommon, it's new, it's fresh, it's the new.
You have to be able to bolt yourself to have it come untapped.
You know what? Only women to find out. Let me just quickly, because this is gonna probably drive me nuts too. Let's do a quick flip. Quick flip says, "Come on, website, you can do it." Did it pop up on your thing there? It should pop up saying someone's trying to join your network. No, it didn't pop up. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so Boston is pondering. I guess he's just looking for a frog, a Bowmasters.
It is a bolt land.
It is Bolt. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So that's why it's an $8 card.
All right, so Boston draws a Polluted Delta. Just gonna pass the turn after that Ponder. Let's see what Trevor has to follow up this kind of lackluster turn 1.
Yeah, just MDFC into
Is that a Wasteland?
that. Yes, Merfolk does play Wasteland.
He's playing 16 lands with 4 Wastelands?
Correct. 8 islands, 4 Cavern of Souls, 4 Wastelands, 4 MDFCs. Yeah, that's
This okay, so
Merfolk does this.
This kind of feels like a bad Death and Taxes.
I mean, it's a modern deck with Wastelands. It's essentially what it is. So we have a Mirror Reach, sorry.
Silvergill
Jeez,
Adapt.
It shows you how much
You
I
need
know.
to be cultured,
Oh
man.
do I ever? I used to play this deck too. That's how long ago it was.
Really?
Yeah, like when I first started playing Magic, I built Merfolk. Now, Trevor did tell me that when he does get bored, when his opponent's not doing anything, he likes to make his Merfolk dance. So if you see his Merfolk start dancing on the table, it's because
Do you remember
they're
what
dancing.
song he
I
does?
believe it was the Milkshake song, but I don't know who the artist is again for that. It's probably not even called Milkshake. It's probably so wrong. I'm not even sure what the name of the song actually is. Right? Okay, so we have a Grief. Here we go. Wasteland, Cavern of Souls, Lord of Atlantis, the Hexcatcher. That's it. 4 cards in hand. So what do you take, Ben?
Lord of Atlantis.
Perfect. I like it. Good answer.
Actually, it's debatable. You want to take the Lord of Atlantis only because it speeds up Trevor's clock, and you have no way of quickly getting cards from your graveyard because you're playing against the ley line. So you need to be able to like kind of slow your opponent down. But when you're a deck that tries to operate as like on as few land as possible, this Curse Catcher is going to be, or the Curse
Hexcatcher.
The Hexcatcher is a hard card to play against.
Oh, fair enough.
Not to mention you are playing against a Cavern of Souls now, so a lot of your like counter magic is not going to be a very good.
Yep. No, makes sense.
I guess with all of these things like playing like building up together, like Trevor has like a quick clock now. He's going to be attacking for 5 damage.
Yep. Yep.
Once the Lord of Atlantis is in play for a while. That's a pretty decent or sizable clock that Boston has to kind of play against without being able to cheat things into play.
No, there's definitely a good tempo there. Did I miss that there's no days in this deck? I could be wrong. I completely missed that. Okay, so actually, yes.
I don't think that Merfolk will be playing Dazes because they're playing so few islands themselves.
Even with Vile in play, well, I guess isn't Vile either in play, so it kind of making sense right now.
Boston going to Ponder, finds Daze, Brazen Borrower, and Underground Sea. Not bad because once Boston bounces this ley line of the Void to Trevor's hand, he has no way of casting it.
Yep. Yeah, there's absolutely no way.
This is actually pretty decent for Boston. This is where I think I would have preferred to take the Lord of Atlantis over the Curse Catcher. Because if you can just play around the Hexcatcher, sorry, I keep saying Curse Catcher, but I mean Hexcatcher. But actually, this is actually... I understand Boston's take now. He saw the Wasteland having to play around the Wasteland and the Hexcatcher is very difficult.
Definitely. I'm not sure why he didn't play the Lord before combat.
Yeah, that's very strange. I think that's just a mistake.
Because that would have been an extra point of damage at least, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Just
that's an extra point of damage.
Which is still adds to the clock.
All right.
There we go. So we had land drop. So again, we have Brazen Borrower.
There's a Fatal Push in Boston's hand, so he can just cleanly deal with the Lord of Atlantis whenever he wants.
Oh, yeah, okay. So it doesn't even really matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, Boston is the better player. He knew to take the Hexcatcher, probably the better play.
To counter, because it also does counter the Fatal Push if you can't have enough lands.
Yeah. It's again, it goes back to what I was saying is, like, if you wanted to think about this as a like tempo-esque or Delver-esque list,
exactly,
trying to operate on as few lands as possible, playing against a Hexcatcher is just kind of backbreaking.
Definitely. And we have a Master of the Pearl Trident?
Yes. This is a second Lord of Atlantis.
Yes. So, I mean, that would have been... So, Boston's technically at a virtual... He would have been at a virtual 11 because of the Lord being in play after. But I guess he could have killed the Lord before damage anyways.
Wow. Boston going for Surveil Land before he bounces the ley line.
I guess he just wants to see what's going on, get some free information.
Yeah, but if there's a really good fatty on the top of a list, you're inclined to not pitch it.
Well, maybe that's when he hopefully hits a land or an entomb, and then he bounces the thing, plays a land, says go, and entombs.
Yeah,
host.
but that's quite mana intensive.
There is a wasteland there, so you can do that Brazen Borrower and then entomb situation that I was talking about.
But he doesn't have an entomb. He
Correct.
has
Not yet.
Reanimate.
It could be on top of his deck right now. That's why he's pondering so hard.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Oh, he's keeping it. We're all going to see together.
What is it?
Oh, it's a froggy.
It's a frog?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, now he doesn't really need to care about this ley line.
Yeah, he has to double check what this card does. This is a brand new one, of course.
Yeah, so this is
What are the
any.
modes on it again? Or the
It's not really a mode.
the
It's
things on it?
whenever
Modes?
Psychic Frog deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card.
And Planeswalker, if I'm not mistaken, too. I know they added that specifically for some reason. Just so you know.
So anytime it kind of like connects with
Yeah.
whatever you want it to connect with, you get to draw a card. You may discard a card at any time. You can put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then the last ability is exile 3 cards from your graveyard, and it gains flying until end of turn.
Only to turn. Okay, so the counters are permanent. The flying is temporary.
Yes, the counters are permanent, so it permanently grows, which makes it extremely strong.
So here's a turn 4 vial, if I'm not mistaken, or turn 3 vial.
Yeah, but I think at this point, Trevor has so few cards in hand that it doesn't really matter.
Yep. No, fair enough. That's why it's not
Here
too
is
bad.
an unblockable 3 points of damage going straight to Boston. Unblockable because it has Island Walk from the Master of the Pearl Trident.
Oh, right. It's what gives it the Island Walk. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Boston drew. I think it was another.
There was a
it's
troll of Khazad-dûm.
So it doesn't want to cycle that yet. But we shall see. And Boston has to do something.
He's going to draw a card.
Yep, he's just going to take the damage, draw a card. Okay,
There's
cool.
an Entomb.
There we go. Okay, so now we're talking about that plan. But again, now he's missing the Wasteland. So now he has to do it over 2 turns, which is fine.
Yeah,
Or
I
he
think
could
this
troll
is where Boston is very good against other players. Is he has the experience and he knows how to utilize his life as a resource.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, especially when newer players enter the game, they care about their life total a little bit more than they really should. So it's I guess the new player mentality is, I lose the game by going to 0 life. That means I must preserve my life at almost all costs.
Yeah.
But knowing when to take the damage is something that Boston is very good at.
I mean, again, he's using it as a resource.
Yeah,
as we would
managing
say.
his life total is something that Boston does exceptionally well, and you see it when he played against Dom.
Fair enough.
And
here we are.
I'm sure that's how he's such a very that's why he's a very good blue pilot.
Yeah, he knows. You know what? I can take a few hits. Eventually I'll stabilize.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's he's leveraging his resources physically well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing when to wasteland, knowing when to take your card advantage, knowing when to spend those cards, fantastic. Knowing when to also use your resources as a life total, fantastic.
So just so you know, he brazen forward the Master of the Pearl Trident, not the ley line. So he's not going for the aggro combo type line. He's just going for the damage.
He's going for the temple line.
As you were saying, yeah. So he's. I mean, there must be something rather, we're not that we're missing, but something that he's just again a different mindset, different player, different mindset.
Yeah. Okay. So this is this is what I
interesting.
mean by
Yeah.
It's really hard to provide commentary for Boston because
It's all,
I'm not a professional player.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's thinking here.
Yeah. No. Again, there has to be something. As you said, he's using his life total as a resource right now, right? And the Merfolk was dancing on the table there, if in case you guys didn't notice.
Because that's such a questionable play because now Boston has 3 cards in his hand that do nothing.
Yep.
Right? There's the Entomb, there's the Reanimate, and there's only 2 cards that do nothing, right? One is a Daze, and the other one is a Dismember.
Yes, Days Dismember Reanimate.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
This is actually not bad, actually, because if he's going to be relying on the Psychic Frog,
4 cards.
he can Dismember the Master of the Pearl Trident,
Yep.
discard the 2 cards that don't do anything, block the Silvergill Adept, and kill it.
Okay, so actually, so he passed turn. Sorry, I'm missing stuff here. He passed turn. He didn't even do anything that turn. But yeah, so
I mean, he's not inclined to do anything, right? All of the
Yep.
cards in his hand are more or less reactive at this point.
Yep. Okay, so here's the Dismember,
Yeah.
killing the Master. Did you call that?
Yes. So
Okay,
this is
good.
going to allow Boston to block the Silvergill Adept. He can discard the Entomb. He can discard the Reanimate because they're going to do nothing against this Leyline of the Void anyway. And whoa, okay, we're going to see a reaction from Trevor.
Oh, that's the front side of the MGFC. He's bouncing the Dismember back to his hand.
Okay.
Or he needs 2 blue for that, I believe. He only has 1 island actual.
See, this
Right.
card's dumb.
Bad card.
Yeah,
Okay,
so now we're going to see
so-
Boston block. He can
Yep.
discard 2 cards, grow the Psychic Frog out of range from the
Yep.
Silvergill Adept, Gonna eat the Adept alive. Unless Trevor has a card from the vial, which can buff the Silvergill Adept.
So like I said, that's why he's waiting to discard more. Nope, you're correct on that front. No,
Oh, is
Lord
Psychic
to
Frog
flash
bigger
in.
than a 1/1?
It's a 1/2.
This card's busted.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, this thing again. It pitches to Grief. It pitches to Force. Like it's 2 mana. It's a 1/2. It survives Bowmasters early on.
This card's nutty.
It's definitely a very good card. Definitely a very good
All right,
card.
we're gonna see Trevor play this land that kind of did
Yeah.
nothing for him. All right, Boston draws a Grief.
And we start now.
This is the tempo play, right? Boston, it gets to draw a card every turn, and I will say drawing an extra card every turn is so good.
It's good. This is basically, they said Tempo 101, life is a resource.
Leverage every resource that
Yep.
you can, and Boston leverages it
Stabilize,
so well.
stabilize and take the control over.
Yeah.
We'll see what Trevor's got, but I didn't see, the only thing I can think of is a Dismember, but again, Boston can, if he really wants to, he can just pump all of his cards in his hand into it to save it.
I have to say, Boston piloted this game so well. That Wasteland on that second blue source, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, see, now Trevor had to play the MDFC on the island side because he needed
Because if he drew another one, he has to have that double blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we're going for a Grief pitching. It was the Entomb, I believe. So now he's going to show him. Oh,
yeah. He has the second one, so he takes it.
Yep. Had the perfect.
Yeah. Now Boston just fully in the saddle. Instead of it being an Archon like it was in Game 1, now it's just a Psychic Frog that draws him an extra card per turn.
That's it.
And it will eventually just outgrow the Archon.
Yep. No, this is classic tempo.
Yeah. Another issue that.
Oh, I forgot about this guy. In turn.
Another issue that Merfolk has is it doesn't really have any source of card removal here.
No.
Boston's just going to slowly take over this game. There's 5 points of damage every turn.
And drawing cards, it's value.
Yeah.
Yeah, this frog is too good. Do any of the other frogs, like this, Psycho Frog or Psychotog, any of those things, do they have any draw effect on them?
No.
No, right? This is the first of its kind.
There's a Lord of Atlantis. Not really going to do much here.
No.
Trevor has to squeak out as much damage as he can.
Oh, we have a free.
There's a Silvergill that gets him another draw.
Yep. Another Merfolk. Come on, you can do it. Oh.
If it's a Lord of Atlantis or another Master of the Pearl Trident, very good. It is not. Oh, I wonder what the card is in his hand.
I bet you it's the MDFC, the Stupor.
I mean, if it's the MDFC,
Well, we'll see.
it's not terrible.
I mean, it could also be a Chalice too. Who knows? It can just be a Chalice. Which, if it was me, I would just. Oh, he's deciding. Oh no!
Boston's just gonna dump his hand and
just
just swing in with the frog.
Well, forget. So he can't gain flying, which is fine. But yes, if he's unblocked, he could just probably annihilate his opponent. I mean, those forces are kind of not really doing much because of the Cavern and Aether Vial. So here we go. We're gonna find out.
I mean, if it's another one of the MDFC lands, the counter spells can do.
Yep,
work.
they can do something. Yep.
So they aren't nothing.
Of course. Oh, here we go. We're starting to go for the pitches. Okay, so there's another counter. So no blocks.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's
Brazen
it.
Borer.
And
Yeah, like he can't block.
No,
right?
of course. Yeah. And then he's drawing another
Like
card.
Trevor has to try to win this, next turn.
Oh, Animate Dead on. What are you grabbing?
Is he just grabbing something from Trevor's graveyard?
Force of Negation Hardcast. Oh, I love it. Here we go. I mean, it's pretty.
I mean, this is where you have to force a ball, right?
Of course, yeah. This is just fun. Come on, you can do it. Come on. He's doing the little math.
But what is he reanimating?
It's either a Lord or Silvergill. It's either Lord or Silvergill, just to get more draw, because that's only.
I mean,
two.
he can't really draw. He needs to reveal a Merfolk.
Can't really draw.
Right?
No. Only if you cast.
Oh, it increases mana cost. Yeah.
Right,
So he gets to draw a card.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
That's a 1/1. Finds a Wasteland. Not going to do much
Oh,
here.
it's a 2/1. It's a 2/1. Oh yes.
No, with the Animate Dead, it's a 1/1.
Animated. Sorry. Yes, it's a 1/1. Yes, you are correct. Oh, and Trevor just says. I guess Trevor just says, "Yeah, we're good." So that was in 2, correct?
Did he? It looked like Boston scooped, no?
We're gonna find
Because Boston
in a
can't pitch
second
enough
here.
cards to kill Trevor. So Trevor's just going to swing with Unblockable because he has Island Walk.
I think you're correct. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. Yes, you're correct. Okay, we're going to game 3.
Yeah.
Going to game 3.
Dang, that was really strange.
Yeah, so that ley line, it did something. It did something.
Yeah.
Because again,
I don't know.
entombs and
Like,
stuff,
if Boston opted to go that route, I think I would have just started ditching all of those other cards. Right? Trevor has no
aggro.
cards in hand. I think it's time to just dump the hand and just start swinging with a huge Psychic Frog.
as big as you can, because you're going to draw a card anyway. So I mean,
Like, I don't know how much it would have changed. Like, it would have put Trevor at 3 instead of 6.
and then still not be able to. He would have blocked with the Silvergill, and then he would have died to one of the Lord or the Trevor's Silvergill, I believe. Right. So yeah, it was close. He needed either some kind of life gain to be able to survive it, or again keep up the frog, as you said.
Honestly, like,
No, but I think it was still all the plays made sense up to the point, right?
it's debatable. One of the one thing, like, we kind of justified the rest of the game to make sense from Boston's point of view.
Yes.
But at the time, brazen borrowing the master didn't make sense.
Yeah, that was. I mean, again, I guess he was going for the tempo plan. He thought he could control the board enough, right, with tempo.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, when your hand is like a reanimate spell and something else, and you're kind of like a reanimate deck, getting rid of the ley line when they can't cast it is like, it's so perfect.
Yeah, because
And he found it at a time where he didn't need to really do anything else. Like, he had the life total to kind of survive it, kind of draw out of it.
Yep. So we're both going to 6, game 3 here.
Yeah, so even after us praising Boston
still-
being so good at managing his life total,
so if he did get rid of the ley line, it would have been Entomb for an Animate Dead on whatever fatty he bins. I guess it would have been a different story. He would have gained some life from, let's say,
he didn't
Archon.
have the Entomb, right? He had...
No, eventually he found the Entomb.
Yeah, he eventually found it.
But yes, initially he did not. You're correct. Initially he did not. So, fair enough. Here we go. Well, you know what? That game is over.
Boston is on the play now.
That's why. So, let's... we shall see. Okay, Trevor's going to 5.
Wow, Trevor going to 5.
Now-
Boston has Force of Will, Brainstorm, Grief.
So do we think Trevor's just trying to find that ley line because he knows it's like the card that should put the nail in the coffin for this deck?
I think so. But sometimes the downside of ley lines is he gives you tunnel vision.
Yeah, because all you're focusing on is finding that one.
Like, you do have to remember, if you can go like Silvergill, like a 1 or 2 drop into a Master or Lord, then I think you're in a decent enough shape to not play the ley line route. The problem is, if you don't mulligan hard for these ley lines, you have no way of casting them.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way.
Yeah, we're seeing.
So we're going to 4.
Yeah,
So
I think Trevor's at a little bit of a tunnel vision here.
we're just going nuts for the ley line here.
Yeah, and like we saw, like Merfolk really struggle on card advantage. Like, there's no real way of them getting extra cards.
So I have a question. Do you think Merfolk, seeing how you say it seemed like a pretty good deck, do you think for Graveyard Hate they should not be playing ley line and be playing like, or is it because ley line is just so good for?
I think you're either better off going with Surgical Extraction or
like a Nile Spellbomb.
It's hard to say
Lantern.
because, like, you don't want to go Nile Spellbomb because you have no way of tutoring it with Urza Saga. You're not an Urza Saga deck. It's a downside. You also don't have any way of leveraging the draw from the black.
Okay,
because you're not a black
Okay,
deck.
how about Soul Guide Lantern as an example? Let's say.
Again, you're bringing up cards that are very good at, like, they're very good in Urza Saga decks.
Fair.
And I wouldn't see any reason to play them outside of those. Usually, your sideboard options outside of Urza Saga deck for Graveyard Hate is either going to be your Leyline of the Voids, your Surgical Extractions, or your Fairy Macaques.
Or Fair Macaques, yeah.
Right? Those are your primary, your best anti-graveyard cards when you're not playing Urza Saga.
So
The problem is all of these cards, so other than Leyline, so basically Surgical Extraction and Fairy Macabre, you need to have a way of digging for those cards, like digging hard, because you're only going to be playing 1 or 2 copies of each. There's no way you're going to be playing 4 of Surgical Extraction in a Chalice of the Void deck.
Yeah,
There's no way you're going to be playing a 4 of Fairy Macabre in a deck so heavily reliant on blue pips.
yeah, fair enough.
Right?
That's fair.
And the problem is Merfolk doesn't have a way of digging for these cards. Right?
Their mulligan is their dig.
Yeah. The reason why you want to dig for these cards and you don't want to open with them is because they're very timing specific.
Yep.
Right? Like Fairy Macabre and Surgical Extractions excel when you use the abilities at a very opportune moment. Right? When they go for those reanimate spells
things,
is when you want to use them.
Yep.
Whereas the Leyline is a very nice blanket cover. The problem is the moment you bounce the Leyline, there's no way of you casting it.
Yep. Yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I guess Leyline is the best option, you would say, against a scam deck because it's turn 0, where if they go scam, reanimates, or sorry, grief, reanimate, grief, my apology.
Yeah.
Then that's when that Leyline is your best option. So Trevor going hard. He's at 2. So, I mean, I think he's very
this
much,
game, I actually think this game is over. Boston's pretty much won this game.
Yeah, because...
Right? There's absolutely no way you can go to 2 cards against a scam deck.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to go...
You're going to go Leyline, and they're going to
They won't even care. If you open with no lands, they're not going to scam you. They're not going to grief. If you open with a land, they're just going to be like, okay, grief you. Then what are you going to do? You're going to either keep the land that's in your hand. They're going to know that you only have a land. They're just going to run you over. Or they're going to take the card.
Yep, fair.
This game is over.
Or again...
Like, Boston has just won.
Oh, so he didn't even mull for... Oh, after all of that?
After all that, he doesn't have a leyline. This game is over.
Oh, man. That's... Yeah, he's just going to...
There's a wasteland?
Okay, wasteland,
Sure.
yeah. Brainstorm
Yeah,
response.
Boston gets
he's like,
an
yep,
advantage out of it.
He's like, I'll brainstorm, no problem. Sadly, you can't daze wasteland. Save the land.
I mean, he could technically do that. He could brainstorm...
Again?
Daze the brainstorm.
True. But I think, again, like as you said, at this point, Boston's got enough... yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just play a Delta. I'm happy with that.
Like, Trevor is so low on resources. Boston's hand is pure interaction.
It's stacked.
Yeah, and like, unless Trevor finds a Cavern of Souls, he has to pray that Boston doesn't have a wasteland of his own.
Yep.
Yeah, Boston's just going to find a basic here. So this is so easy.
Fair. I was going to say, or the Surveil, but yes, if I put the wasteland across the table.
No, in the face of a wasteland.
Yeah.
Like, Trevor's on a multitude. You're going to limit all that he can do,
and
no matter what.
Yeah, here we go. This is basic. Unless...
And he has the reanimate in hand. This game is absolutely over.
Yeah, this is...
Like, Boston just going to find an Archon of Cruelty.
Yeah, most likely.
There's no reason. Is he going for a Traxa? Okay. He goes for a Traxa? Sure.
Maybe he just wants to fill up the hand a little more. See for...
I mean, it doesn't really matter. One of these fatties. Like, what is Merfolk going to do? They don't have any hard removal spells.
No.
What? He bounces it to the hand? Sure.
Yeah, with the 3 mana blue spell with 2, you need 2 ounce.
Yeah, if he bounces the Atraxa to the hand, that's fine. Boston just plays Psychic Frog, discard it, reanimate it.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it again. Yeah, this is 2. Oh, and you drew another second land too. Way to go, Boston. Oh man,
so now you can just find an island.
He's like, okay, I'll just reanimate this puppy. He's basically playing mono black with fetch lands at this point. That's what it looks like, right? Oh man, so good. Okay, here we go. Takes some damage, no problem.
Gets to see top 10.
Yep. Let's see what he's got. We're working with here.
Yeah, this is hard. This is casual commentary, so I'm just gonna say it. This is a really hard game to commentate because there's just literally nothing Trevor can do. He's just put himself into a situation that Boston can do whatever he wants.
Yep, so we have only have 4 types at this point, but that's no problem.
Oh, you get a peek at Trevor's hand. He does have a Cavern of Souls, so that's something. But in a deck that's renowned to have, like, double blue pip.
Yeah.
With a Wasteland, this Cavern of Souls is not going to do much.
Yep. Shuffle those cards up. Ready to go. Restocked. Yeah, so now this is, like, I'm just...
And Atraxa has lifelink. So he can refill his life. That's probably another reason. I'm not gonna make an argument for Boston's like say that there's another reason why.
He's like, okay, wasteland you on
Entomb. Just gonna rotate this Entomb.
It almost feels Entomb almost feels like Black Crop Rot a little bit. Again, like I'm not saying it's the same thing. But it's funny. It's just funny the way you played it there. Because usually when you get wastelanded, you go, oh, I'm gonna crop out the land that's being wastelanded to get value off of that.
This
is basically what it felt like.
In that situation,
like, what it felt like. That's all. It was just kind of a bit
a better comparison would be if he used the Troll of Cause of Doom.
Right, to get another land. Fair.
That's a little bit more of a better comparison.
But in the end, he's still getting value out of the land being blown up, essentially. You know,
Yes.
Because now he's being forced to entomb. Oh no.
Yes.
You know, and there's more lands coming up, and another reanimate on the. Oh man.
He finds the two baddie, like fatty. I said baddies. But
Is he forced negating or something? Oh no, he's just running. Sorry, I thought
he's
was.
just going through the
he's just going
motions. This game is over.
Yep, draw a card, gain 3, blah 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 blah. It just feels like this was like a Ferris wheel at this point. And there's the islands. Man, pretty hard aggressive slam there.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Draw for turn, attack for everything. Pacha! Is that more than 10? Yes. A lot more than 10.
Yeah, way more than 10. Like, I guess the one creature that... Like, if there was a Merfolk that said...
Bounce a creature?
Enter the battlefield, reveal a Merfolk. If you do, exile your opponent's graveyard. That would be so good.
Oh, okay.
That would actually make like
geez.
Merfolk legacy playable.
That's like asking for, I don't say a lot, but that's a lot.
But what Trevor needed was not to go to 2, keep a hand, and have like Harbinger of the Seas. Because that's a card that actually bounces a creature to the opponent's hand.
I don't think he... Oh, wait, Harbinger of the Sea. Sorry, which one are we thinking about here?
It's it's double 2. It's double blue pip, and it bounces a creature.
Oh, no, he does not play
He doesn't play it. So, yeah, this is a... That was just a curious case of tunnel vision, people. And you have to understand, if you have a playable 5, I'm pretty sure it's better to play the game than to try to mulligan for a ley line.
Yep, then the 4, yeah, that's definitely not the way to go here. But Boston gets it in 3, so there was again he did get out tempoed a little bit there in game 2 there. Boston gets it in 3. Merfolk 2024.
No, it's more like Merfolk 2026.
Yeah, 2026.
Okay, so I think the biggest problem is like what we identified was Legacy is a format that utilizes the graveyard so often. So we see cards like Endurance, you see cards like Soul Guide Lantern. All of these cards are meant to control the graveyard. They see so much play, but graveyard like Rescaminator is still the top deck.
It's still right.
In order for Merfolk, like we've identified again, I asked the question, why isn't Merfolk a good deck? I think we've identified all of its reasons. It doesn't have a very yes, it has a lot of strong utility tools, but I don't think it has the presence to keep resources enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like yes, it leverages Aether Vial, but there's no way for it to
draw more or
like it has Silver Gilded Depth, but that's just a replacement. Yeah, right. It just puts 2 power onto the board, like at minimum.
It draws you a card.
It puts 2 power onto the board, and that's it.
Yep.
Right. There's no way for it to consistently get card advantage, and there's no way for it to adequately deal with the graveyard.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's why back in the day it was a good modern deck because it was a good tempo, stack your guys, anthem effects for your
it was a very good go wide strategy, and it's like if you can't deal with the lords, you still have to deal with all of these like 2x power.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But in a case where Legacy, where you top deck any random island card, a bunch of two power creatures aren't really going to do anything.
Yeah, you either have to have some kind of card advantage, lots of tempo plays, like tons of counter spells of any variety.
Yeah,
right? But I mean,
Merfolk is in a weird position because it's like it feels like a Death and Taxes deck.
Yeah,
but it also the best thing about Merfolk, and it's so sad to say this, is that all of the cards are blue.
So they all pitch to force.
They all pitch to force, and it feels like that should be its strength, but it's actually its weakness, because now you're saying oh, it has a bunch of utility creatures. Well, guess what? Do you know what deck also has a bunch of utility creatures?
Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes.
Yes. Just play Death and Taxes.
Yeah, but the problem is Death and Taxes is hey, does it have graveyard hate? Yes, it has Remorseful Cleric, which is a 2 mana 3/1 flyer that sacrifices itself, exile target graveyard.
So if blue had something like that,
it'd be okay.
It
would be playable.
I mean, again, it's probably like a 20.
Merfolk 2026.
Okay, we'll see.
That's when the next Modern Horizons set should be released.
Okay. So we'll see if they give us again a blue exile. What's the other one need? Maybe a blue bounce creature.
That's
a Merfolk.
Okay. So do you know what it needs?
What does it need?
It needs just a mono blue Psychic Frog
Mono blue
and
Psychic
just a
Frog.
mono blue Remorseful Cleric.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so
And then at that point, it's playable.
okay, so Wizards, if you're listening, we need those 2 cards. In
We
a
really
four.
don't.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
I
good
think
enough.
Merfolk is just a thing of the past.
Just play D&T at this point. You know, if you want to play a creature-y, beat-downy type, semi-control kind of deck. So, well, that's it for now. At least, unless you have any final comments on this game.
My final comment is we got some good roasting of the fish.
Yeah, we did. Oh, give us the cave.
Throw 'em on the
barbecue.
grill!
Throw 'em on the grill. Oh man, tastes
Toss
so
'em on-
good.
yeah,
Tastes
toss
so
'em on the
good.
grill.
Tastes so good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, that was round 2, the critical hit 1K. We'll see you in round 3. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
That is just.